Hello, another gimbal to review here. This one is the IceCam UltraVision. This is the extended version. I'll explain what that means a little bit later. But first of all, what the heck is an IceCam? Well, it's a gimbal company that you may not be familiar with unless you happen to follow me on social media, because it's not a big company like the others out there that I've reviewed. It's basically just one guy who loves gimbals, and he has been consulting with me for a little while on how to improve his gimbal. So once again, that doesn't mean this is a biased review or a sponsored review. It just means that I'm reviewing something that I've had more input in than perhaps some of the other products. So what did I advise about this gimbal? Well, first of all, I advised him to extend this 45-degree arm here so that I could mount my largest lens on it. This is my 24-105 lens on the A7R III, and you can balance it just fine and even go inverted just fine on this gimbal. This was very important to me, being able to do this. You notice I can even open the screen somewhat, and it works just fine. If you open the screen all the way, it will hit. See that? You can't open your screen all the way. But if you keep the screen at about 45 degrees, then you're doing just fine. Also, it has 5 programmable modes on this mode button. So I have it programmed for follow yaw, follow yaw and pitch, which is tilt and pan. Of course, lock mode, chicken head, we've got extreme mode, which follows everything, pan, tilt, roll. And my favorite, pitch follow mode, which only follows the pitch. So right off the bat, I'm going to do the hardest test here for stability of this gimbal. I am going to run at 105 millimeters. Let's see how it does. Another feature I want to talk about here is the ability to remote control the gimbal with my phone. So I've got my special array here of 2 Apple iPhone S's. This is my video monitor, and this is my remote control. Video monitor up top, remote control down here. I've got a wireless video transmitter here on top of my camera that's connected via HDMI. I'm going to turn on the mimic feature, and as you can see, camera is following my movements. That's where my camera is. I would guess that that is about 30 meters away. Let's see if this works. So we've lost video connection, but the remote control still works. Okay, so final thoughts. What do I think of the IceCam gimbal overall? Well, it's been a workhorse for me. I've actually used this gimbal on a 2-month-long shoot, and you know what? It performed pretty well overall. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. And I'm going to tell you right now some things I don't like about the gimbal. The extreme mode. The tuning, I feel, needs some improvement because it's hard for me to do really crazy moves, like starting at extreme angles, going upside down, and coming back up, things like that. It's hard for me to do these moves really smoothly. There's still some weird stuff that happens when I just get too crazy with the camera moves. So I don't know quite how to fix that. I've tried changing the speed settings and stuff, and nothing seems to quite make it perfect. Also, I don't like the way that you have to attach a monopod. What you see right here on the bottom is actually an additional plate that I have to add in order to use a monopod with the gimbal. The true bottom of the gimbal looks like this, and this here is the battery. So I'll just take that out. See? That's where the battery is. So because the battery is right here in the middle, there's no place to mount a monopod. So I have to use this, and then you have to lock it in place. The reason I don't like it is because that's a big, heavy piece of metal that doesn't really need to be there. But there is an advantage to this as well. If you leave this attached to your monopod, then you can attach the gimbal just by sliding it into place and latching it and locking it. It's sort of a quick release. I wish there were more places to attach accessories. There are holes on the side here, but these holes don't let you attach anything. They're just holes. Additionally, I wish the gimbal would supply power to the camera and to the accessories. But back to the things I do like about the gimbal, the main thing is it's just smooth. The motion of the gimbal is quite smooth. One problem I've usually had with other gimbals is getting smooth pans and tilts when I'm zoomed in. But with this one, do you see how soft it is when it stops moving? It's just a very gentle glide to a stop. And finally, there's this app that you use to control the gimbal. Simple BGC. This is an open source app. A lot of other manufacturers use proprietary apps that have less features than this actually, because they take this open source app and they remove features and make it, I guess, easier for the user. And I guess it also gives them an excuse to add those features back in with future updates and future gimbals. Look how quick it connects. 1, 2, 3. Connect, boom, we're connected. The reason it connects so simply and so quickly and so reliably is because the gimbal has a Wi-Fi module in it that connects instead of Bluetooth. Wi-Fi has a lower latency and a much longer range than Bluetooth does. And finally, like I said before, this gimbal works with all of my lenses. From the smallest lens to the biggest lens, they all balance, and I don't have to worry about the LCD screen hitting the gimbal as I go from upright to inverted like this. That's super important for me. So those are my overall thoughts on the IceCam UltraVision. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helped you make a decision about what gimbal you want to use. I'll see you in the next video.